Next step in the battle between police and the prison system over the Department of Corrections' refusal to take DNA samples from prisoners.
It baffles me why the Department of Corrections set up a policy to allow the inmates to have control over whether they're tested or not.
So Muskegon County Prosecutor Tony Tagg and the Michigan State Police took matters into their own hands. Armed with search warrants on Wednesday, they went into 2 Muskegon prisons and got DNA samples from the 118 prisoners who had refused to take the tests, 6 of them by force. The Muskegon prisoners, they say, are among 6,000 who have refused to be tested in Michigan's prisons.
I am convinced that if we do the 6,000 inmates, we will solve numerous brutal, serious crimes across the state.
Tagg says that state law is on his side.
If we changed a simple policy within the Department of Corrections, we could avoid releasing people who have been involved in serious crime.
Among the examples cited by Tagg and police, Mark Ball, whose DNA was taken just before he left prison, leading to his conviction for the 1998 rape of a 13-year-old Kentwood girl. And Rodrigo Hernandez, whose DNA taken at his release linked him to 2 murders of women in Texas and Grand Rapids.
Had we had that sample, he would have never been released. So we had a double murderer on the streets of our communities for 6 months, who's now on death row in Texas.
Then there was the case of suspected serial killer Nicholas Brasic, who died in prison without his DNA being tested. Last summer, cold case detectives were forced to exhume his body for testing. Today, prison officials told 24-Hour News 8 that the law allows prisoners to refuse DNA tests, and that the only way to force them is when a prisoner is about to be released.
It's not a simple policy decision. If it was, we would have changed the policy and taken these tests by force.
State prison officials say they are working with state police to change the law.
We don't want people to slip through the cracks. We want, in fact, as I was telling you earlier, we want these tests to be done earlier.
Police say it could take months to match the DNA with any unsolved crimes. In Muskegon County, Ken Kolker, 24-Hour News 8.